a woman was motivating to you?
One, that there were no women at that table.
Yeah.
It was scary. So when I think of women of color that never see themselves in the room, I have a lot of compassion for that because they experience it deeper than I did. But in that moment, I looked around and all these men were so successful and not one woman was at that table. And it wasn't because Tony was sexist and didn't invite them. There genuinely weren't a lot of women at that level at the time that people knew about.
Right.
And so that scared me. Like, is this possible? But it also motivated me to think, well, I'll figure this out. And then after that meeting, I went out and found women that were doing it. Maybe not at the level those guys were, but the women I found, they are absolutely at that level or beyond that level now. I still follow a lot of these women. So it was really cool for me to kind of start seeking it out.
I am kind of hearing that activated your inner child, the inner challenger leader in you. And you're like,
Yes.
I see a challenge. I'm gonna go tackle this.
Very much so. So that is definitely my MO, that I do like a challenge. I like competition and I like a challenge. So both of those kind of put together, I was like, game on, let's figure this out.
Yeah. Something in like a flip was switched in your brain. So
Yep.
we're in 2009. You hand in your 2 weeks notice, and
Yep.
walk us through those first 4 years of kind of finding your right path, because in 2009, you hand in the notice, and then 4 years later, you hit 900K in revenue. So walk us through those first 4 years.
So the first year, I am definitely a worrier by nature. So I was worried I've got to make enough money. At the time, my husband wasn't a firefighter yet and he was trying to become one. So we weren't making much money between the two of us, nor did I save a bunch of money so that I could have this big nest egg. And so I had to make money. So my goal was to make just as much as I made at corporate that first year on my own. It was somewhere like between 150 and 160. So I had to make that much. And I did. So I hit that number and I did a lot of one-on-one. I used to say coaching and consulting. And then I got really honest and I thought I was doing social media for these businesses. So that's what I did in the beginning. I wasn't coaching anyone. I did their social media. And then I did some other like support type roles in that field in order to make the money. So I covered that. So I thought, okay, this next year we're going to increase. What happened was in the next year, I was starting to realize what I liked and what I didn't like, what I was good at, what I was bad at. And I started to kind of take some things off my plate that I knew were not going to lead me in the direction. I always knew I wanted to create courses and sell them online. I wanted to teach inside of these courses around marketing, and I wanted to sell these courses. I just didn't know how to do that. And so in the second year, I got rid of some clients to make room for me